Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's been a while now since I uploaded my first presentation video after the channel trailer, and as you might know, I have been away for about 3 weeks on the long Norway round trip with my traveling partner Marco from Freedom Machine, which by the way is on his way back from Poland as I'm recording this video, and I can't wait for him to be back because we really had an amazing time. We were really blessed by awesome weather for like almost all the time and during our 20 days in Northern Europe, Central Europe, Scandinavia, all the way up to NorCap. We had so many adventures. We had a ton of footage that we needed to share and edit, of course, to make some good clips out of them. Probably it's gonna be like a mini series with like short episodes. We'll see about that. I still need to get in touch with him again. Anyway, I thought that it was a good moment to enjoy this very good, nice and sunny day in Ireland, because you never know exactly when you're gonna be having the next one, to take the bike for a little spin in the Cork countryside, close to where I live, and to make a little presentation video of the bike itself, because, well, first of all, I think that it deserves it. It deserves it after um, taking me around for so many kilometers, like almost 12,000 kilometers around Europe. And it's been a while now since, for the last few days, I let it rest, and I think it's nice now to take a snapshot, to think about the decision that I make for a moment, to think about the customization that I have made to the bike, what gear I used, why, and what it worked, what it didn't work, and to make some plans for the future as a future reference for me, because a biker's job, as you know, is never done. And I'm not going to go into like a detailed review of the bike itself, because there's plenty of materials about that on YouTube and on the internet, so I'm not gonna waste your time with that. I'm just sharing my personal experience, and that's it. So I think it's gonna be interesting enough, at least for many of you, I hope, and let's get to it. So let's take a look at the bike starting from the front. Maybe someone that knows this bike really well would have noticed that my front fender is raised a little bit from the factory settings, and this is because I had installed a 20mm front fender risers kit from ruggedroads.co.uk, and it was a handy piece of kit that I was able to install in just like 10 minutes, and it's handy to avoid mud sticking in your front fender in case you're riding off-road extensively. And it also looks cool. The most visible part in the front of the bike are, of course, the crash bars, as you can see them completely surrounding the front of the bike. Upper and lower bars protecting the engine and all the plastic fairings, which are crazy expensive. I wouldn't even consider bringing my bike off-road without them. Like many others, I chose to replace the factory handguards with aftermarkets, like in this case specifically bark busters, and the reason being, I wanted to have a metal brace between my hands and the ground in case of dropping the bike. And after doing a little bit of a research, it turns out that they are supposed to be the best of the market out there, and so it was a no-brainer for me. Just a quick mention for 20mm handlebar risers from Turotech. I hope you can see them, all black in the middle of the silver parts on the handlebar. They allows me to have more of an upright position when riding, and they're also very convenient when riding standing on the pegs. And moving on to show you the dashboard of the bike itself, there's my sat-nav mounting system, you know, the RAM mount right behind the windscreen. My unit has broken while I was riding in Norway, so the unit itself is now shipped off to the UK for repair under warranty, hopefully. So the only thing that you can actually see here is the RAM mount. I also wanted to spend an extra few seconds mentioning this reinforcement that you can see on the side of the dashboard itself to support the horizontal bracket from the factory where the sat nav is mounted, because it's a part that has been known to break every now and then, especially with a lot of vibration due to off-road usage. It is custom made in Romania by a guy named Vlad, and I wanted to have it. Next comes the handlebar and tongue section of the bike. On the handlebar you can see a phone mount that I've actually used when coming back from Poland. Marco lent me after my sat-nav broke in Norway, as I said, and I needed a backup navigation device. But I'm gonna purchase one of my own real soon because I don't want to be constricted on the sat-nav only. On the tank itself, you can see this SW Modec tank bag. I'm not gonna spend too much time about it because I'm gonna be shooting a dedicated video with the content that I put on it, how I use it, and what I think about it, the pros and cons, and that kind of stuff. Coming to the seat part, most Africa Twin owners will have noticed that my seat covers is no longer the original one. But the seat is, because I had involved a local craftsman to work on my seat to make it more comfortable for long distance riding, with a partial success, I have to say. Going next to the back of the bike, you can see my JIVE system for mounting my panniers, including the additional toolbox, the plastic toolbox that you can keep on the inside of the left panniers. It's very handy to hold, guess what, tools. Now, I wanted to go back to the front of the bike real quick because I forgot a couple of important pieces. Maybe you don't have noticed that I have actual heated grips on this bike. The reason for that is probably because they don't have an external controller unit to fit somewhere on the bike like some other brands out there. I really like this model. These are from Technoglobe and I highly recommend them. Here's a quick demonstration of how the system works and how you can pick the desired heating intensity with a simple color-based indicator. Another neat piece of equipment that I wanted to show you is this handy dual-purpose adapter that I fitted in the original round hole in the dashboard of the bike. The reason for which it is actually dual-purpose is that it gives me a convenient fast-charging USB port that I can use for recharging my phone whenever I need to, and at the same time I have a voltage reading from the battery. This little thing is so well engineered that even if I have a switch that I can use to turn it off and on at my choosing, I leave it on all the time. The reason for it is that even when the waterproof cover is on, it is actually a see-through and I can have a reading all the time. Speaking of the electric system, it is important to mention that not everything can be supplied by the USB port. For heavier loads in terms of amps, you need to source directly from the battery, which is hidden behind the original toolbox in the cylinder head. In order to do that, I fitted a quick access SIE connector featuring an inline fuse straight below the frame of the bike. The most common use case for it is to power up my portable air compressor that's always with me under my seat, as you can see. When I was in Lithuania, I had the chance to use it to help our camping neighbors with their flat tire. So I think that this is it for today, at least. I don't want to talk for hours about the bike itself. I showed you what I wanted to show. This, I hope, is going to be interesting and helpful for many of you. It's going to be helpful for me, for sure, as a future reference, as a snapshot of the decision that I made so far that brought the bike to have this shape to this day. And yeah, I think this is it. I can head back to town now, edit this video, and get ready for the next one. Probably in a few days. I'm gonna talk about the content of the tank bag, which is no secret, my camera gear. But there's a caveat to this. There's a little trick that it's been helpful, really helpful, on the trip itself, and I will tell you later about this. Cheers.